In this video we're going to look at the Find and Replace dialog in Sheets, which is very useful for bulk edits. So Find and Replace can be found under the Edit menu, under Edit and Find and Replace. Or if you prefer keyboard shortcuts, it's Control and H on a PC or Command Shift and H on a Mac. As I said, this dialog is really useful for bulk edits, and in this first example I can select a series of dates that are in typical date format but are not recognized as dates by Sheets, simply because the date separator is a period as opposed to a /. Well, rather than changing these individually, I can change them in bulk by telling the dialog to look for a period or full stop and replace it with a /. Below this I can limit the scope to all sheets or the specific range, and I can say what the range is, so it's sheet 1 A2 to A4, and I can choose to match case if I wish to, and I can then, if I'm happy with that, I can select replace all and it changes the dates into the correct format. I can also use just the find function, so if I search for Google I can let it search the whole sheet, and I can choose to match case if I want to, and then if I click on find it'll select the first element of Google, element that it finds, click on the next one, click on the next one, and goes back to the first one finds. Now it's eliminated these other Googles because they don't match the case which I have selected. If I untick this and select find, it finds all the versions of Google. The next thing I can look for is I can also search for within formulas, and if I tick this, just what happens to the cells, so that any formulas get moved, get displayed when I tick this. So let's say, for example, I've got here this function equals upper, but I actually want it to be equal proper. I can simply go replace upper with proper. Simple as that, and click on replace, find it, replace, and there we go, it's now replaced. Click on done and the function has updated accordingly. The next thing I want to look at is searching with using regular expressions. Searching with regular expressions are using special characters to tell the dialog to do bulk replacements of one or more characters. They're essentially wildcards, and we'll have a look at some of these now. So if I look at the first one, I'm going to use the regular expression D full stop. So the period is the actual regular expression, and I want to replace all instances of D and the wildcard period with the word new. I must click on search using regular expressions for this to work. Now it automatically ticks match case, but you can untick this if you wish. And I'm going to set the range to be specific, and I'm going to set it to this cell here. So what we'll see is that these elements here will be replaced, but these elements here will be out of scope. So if I click on replace all, so the DO was replaced with new, DO was replaced with new, and that's why you have the following G. The DG was replaced with new, and the DS was replaced, and that's why you're left with a new, and fog and jog are unchanged. The next one I want to look at is using the DO asterisk G and replace it with cat. I'll change the range to cell E3. Watch what happens. Replace all. So DOG was replaced with cat. DG was also replaced with cat. D treble OG was replaced with cat. D capital OG and Doug were left unchanged. So the asterisk applies to the preceding character, the 0, or the O I should say. So whether there's none, 1, 2 or 3 or more, it will replace those with the replacement characters. Next one I want to look at is the plus, so get the dialog back again. So DO plus G and replace with dog, and specify the range, and it's on cell E4. Happy with that. Place. So DOG gets replaced, so it's DO plus G and replace with fox. I'm going to limit the range to one cell E4 and search using regular expressions and replace all. So DOG gets replaced with fox, and D treble OG gets replaced with fox. DG doesn't this time, as well as D capital OG and so on. The next one, we look at the question mark. So DO shift G dog specific range, and it's already on cell E5, and replace all. So DG, no O, gets replaced with dog, and DOG gets replaced like for like. The rest remain the same. Now I found the next two not to work correctly. What should happen is when you have the caret and the two letters D and H are interchangeable, so DOG should be replaced and HOG should be replaced, but I found this not to be working, so we'll have a look at it anyway. Specific range, and it's on cell E6. Place all. Parrot replaces dog, but hog remains the same, and it should have replaced hog as well. My understanding of this is correct. So the letters within square brackets again mean that either of these are interchangeable, and the $ at the end means replace the preceding letters for that. The caret at the start means replace the following letters at the start of this text string. So limit the range, and search for regular expressions, replace all, and nothing gets replaced. That's wrong again. Go on to the next one. So what this means is that the DOG, the O, can have one occurrence or two occurrences. So DOG, the O has one occurrence, so that'll be replaced, or the DOOG has two occurrences, so that can be replaced as well. Both will be replaced with goat. Replace all, and they do indeed get replaced with goat. So this should replace all instances of dog and Doug with dolphin. And does indeed. So dog gets replaced with dolphin, Doug gets replaced with dolphin, because it's looking for DOG or DUG. What O-U means, replace any instance of O and U and any letters between those letters. So P and R should be included. And therefore 4 replacements will be made. So what this says, find the letter D and any string starting with A, E or U and then G. So this should replace So it replaces dog, capital dog, dig for the I, and the $G as well. The last one, this is for the removal of white spaces. This removes white spaces and tab spaces. So it removes D space G with goldfish. So the find and replace dialog is extremely useful for making bulk changes to text on your sheets and can save you a lot of time. Thank you for watching.